we say yes to digital ID, we'll never be able to say no to the government ever again.
Not everything about us should be known to the government.
We don't believe in a papers police culture, a checkpoint culture. We believe in freedom, where the state is completely distanced from the public and the individual.
The freedom of future generations of our nation yet on board, who will never know the freedom that we gave away.
So today I'm in London, where it looks like the freedom movement has been revitalised, has been brought back to life. As you can see, at the moment, I'd say probably about 1,000 people have turned out in support of a protest against digital IDs. This protest has been organised by massnoncompliance.com, Fino and the Rose Diamond, and you know what, I'm quite happy with the numbers. But let's go and ask a few people why they're here today, whether they support digital IDs, whether they're against it, and if they are against it, why? Why are they against it? Let's just go and have a few conversations. So why are you here today?
I think that digital ID is just a threat. It's a threat to our freedom. It's a threat to our freedom to spend money in the future. It's a threat for our freedom to move around. Just freedom generally.
Digital ID is going to be brought in and it's going to be linked in eventually with carbon credits and the digital cash system. So you've got to stay outside of the system, basically. So once you're in, they basically built the cage, so it's there ready for us to walk into. And all they want us to do is walk in and close the door and throw out the key, and that's it. So that's why I'm here, because I don't want to go into that world. And it's been being built around us for a long time. And this march is not going to solve it, but there's going to be a lot of pushback. So they've tried to get it in before, and so hopefully with a bit of pushback, it will be put off again and again and again. That's all we can hope for, isn't it?
I'm here because it's been 5 years since lockdowns, we know, but back in 2020, 2021, we were talking about, and onwards, we were talking about digital IDs. And we knew that they were coming. We knew that we were going to be in a position where we were going to be tracked, monitored, surveilled. A social credit system was going to be put in place. And ultimately, that started at vaccine mandates and vaccine passports, where they literally introduced the papers police system, which we don't believe in. Winston Churchill abolished it after the war, for good reason. It's anti-British, it's not democratic. And then Tony Blair tried it again in 2010, and then in 2011, we got rid of it because we don't believe in it. We don't believe in a papers police culture, a checkpoint culture. We believe in freedom, where the state is completely distanced from the public and the individual. So that's why I'm here, standing for freedom, standing for alternative.
You go back through history, there's a perpetual attempts by psychopaths to run the country, which is why we're constantly in deficit. And when they accumulate, they increase the power of the psychopaths. And that's why we need to change the entire system. People don't have the capacity to think in that range normally. They're prepared to modify it. We need to completely change the structure.
Well, we're against digital ID. It needs to be brought to people's attention. It's not going to be good. It's dystopian, where it's going to take us all. We don't need it. We all have passports which are effectively digital. We've got a digital driving license. Banks have all our details. We don't need another tier of this nonsense. It's all about controlling us, stopping. They're going to bring in universal UBI, a universal basic income. And once they do that, everybody's controlled. We lose all our freedoms. It's endgame. We're in a complete totalitarian state. That's where it's leading. And that's why we're here, to try and stop it.
Because I believe that human beings, we have our own will, and that not everything about us should be known to the government. And that if the government goes ahead with its plans for digital ID, we will be probably 100% known. Everything about us will be known. And I think there's only one being that has the right to that, and that is the Creator, who has the right to know us all inside out, not the government. I also see that if they do implement the digital ID, they have basically the keys to the cage, and they will be able to control everything about our lives. And this could lead to extreme loss of freedom and deprivation for people. That's about it, really.
To stop the digital ID, because it's a form of control. It isn't in our favour at all.
To protest the national digital ID that they're going to force on people.
Yeah.
That's it.
Why are you here today? Still not interested.
I'm here to support the protest against digital ID. It's a really important issue. Our government and no government in the world can implement Agenda 2030, something that no governments want to talk about with the people, without digital ID. And I believe that if we say yes to digital ID, we'll never be able to say no to the government ever again. And we'll be giving away not only our freedom, but the freedom of future generations of our nation yet unborn, and who will never know the freedoms that we gave away to them. And that's not happening in my name.
I think that's I had a debate with my friend one time, and he said, "Well, at least our kids will never know." But I think that's the saddest thing about it all, isn't it? Is that our kids will never know.
That doesn't make it all right, does it? You know, that's a bigger betrayal. It's a huge betrayal of humanity, and these are our inalienable human rights: privacy, freedom of speech. And the governments around the world are trying to change these rights into privileges. And of course, if you don't behave yourself, privileges can always be withdrawn. Yeah. Your rights can't be taken away.
So I've been speaking to quite a lot of the British public, and one thing is clear. The majority of the UK are against digital IDs. They're against mass surveillance. They're against the Online Safety Act. But the UK government doesn't care what these people think. It does it anyway. And that's been clear time and time again. That was even more clear during the time of Brexit, when the majority of the UK voted to leave the European Union, and they said, it doesn't count, we need to do it again, right? Everything that goes on in British politics at the moment, within the establishment, it creates this illusion of democracy. You do not have a say. And, you know, for example, if we talk about immigration, what is known is that a majority percentage of the UK wants to deport illegal immigrants. However, and that is proven from the fact that the Conservatives stayed in power for so long. That is proven from the fact that Brexit got the highest turnout in British history. But the UK government brings them in anyway, right? They don't care what you think. And I think from what Andrew was saying there earlier, this is as simple as mass non-compliance. But it's not just non-compliance from people like you and me. This is non-compliance from small businesses. Small businesses that are the backbone of this country. Small businesses that are forced and required to accept, to make sure that you have a digital ID in order to work. It's down to them. It's down to them in order to end this. So, yeah, let's go and ask some more people some questions. I mean, out of because there's obviously a lot of concerns that come with programmable money, the digital ID and all of that. What's your biggest concern that you take out of it?
I just think that freedom is a fundamental right. I think it's part of the European human rights anyway, and that this will take it away. It will be like the Chinese social credit system. That's what I fear. Yeah. And it will be the rich people and the elite people who will still retain their freedoms, and the little people like me who will lose freedoms. Freedom to spend our money the way we want, freedom to go out of our own towns. That's my biggest fear. Whether that actually comes to pass, I don't know. But also, you're giving all your information to one database that everything could be stolen from, and who knows what future governments we have who could use that information, sell that information to foreign powers. Goodness knows, it's just an open door to thieves and bad governance.
ID? My face is my ID.
Your face is your ID?
Yeah.
Biggest concern. It's as I say, it's leading to a totalitarian state, complete control by the state. And do you trust our government after all we've seen over the last 5 years? Not just the Labour lot, but the Conservative. They're all the same. They all need to be cleared out, and we need a different way of thinking for the future.
Yeah.
Control, privacy, and the fact that it's going to be gateways for a digital currency.
Yeah.
Once they've got it in place, that's going to be rolled out, and we're going to lose cash.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about programmable money then. Is it basically a social credit system, or what is it?
Well, that's where it's going to head. You've only got to look at China, and we're following in those footsteps. If they get it in place, they will be turning us off for, maybe left the country too many times, you've had too many air miles, you have eaten too much meat, you haven't taken enough exercise. You can't allow people that you do not trust, like our government, to have all your sensitive information. I would not give a neighbour access to my handbag with all my personal data in it, my bank card, if she mixed with fraudsters, which is like what our government do. There's so many of them at the moment who, like Rachel Reeves, Angela Rayner, you know, they've all... Well, actually, I don't think Angela Rayner did, but, you know, well, Angela Rayner did, sorry, not Rachel Reeves, but, you know, Angela Rayner hiding money, you know, not declaring tax on properties. These people, they're not to be trusted.
Yeah.
That's the freedom.
Yeah.
Just privacy. We haven't had it before. The way that the Chinese system is locked in and not having any privacy with what you buy. If food is tagged into the carbon credit system, they'll be telling you how much meat you can eat. They'll be telling you how much of this you can eat. You can only travel. It's all going to tie into the 15-minute city things. And none of this is conspiracy because they've got things out in Parliament. You know, C40 cities. It's all, you can read it all on government websites. So when people say, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist," no, I'm just someone who's done a bit of research. You know, so and if you're not happy with it, the simplest thing you can do is, you know, just fight back a bit. Not just sit there and let it happen. So I don't know. You can talk to me seriously with this.
I mean, out of all the concerns you may have, what's the biggest one to you?
I think the carbon footprint one, in the fact that if they think you've overreached your carbon footprint, they will stop doing stuff.
Yeah.
Not only that, loads of things, loads of stuff.
I have Chinese friends, they'll tell you all about it. Just look it up on the internet. I know that the white paper and what have you says pick some out of it, but it gives them the option to pick whatever they want out of it. An example would be mummy or daddy, the government or the blob or whatever they all want to call them. They'll be able to instruct you indirectly or directly what to do. I ain't doing it. So that's all there is to it.
I'm not going to be having a digital ID, by the way. And if they say that means you won't be able to have access to government services, then I'm not paying any taxes. Because if I'm not in the club, why should I pay? If I can't have the services, I'm not paying the taxes, am I?
And I mean, the Online Safety Act as well. What would your biggest concern with that be?
Well, I don't want children having a QR code.
Yeah.
They're apparently 13-year-olds, is it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
13-year-olds, they're trying to bring it in for them. I don't think it's a good idea at all.
Yeah.
There's nothing in our favour. There's nothing. It's all for the globalists.
I mean, with the coming in of digital ID, the Online Safety Act that's just been passed, etc. What do you think this is all building towards?
Well, as I say, it's that they're trying to, it's all to do with the WEF, World Economic Forum. They're wanting a one world government. That's where they're trying to lead, but hopefully that's not going to happen. That's why we're on the streets. And thank you guys, for drawing it to people's attention.
Do you think this is actually about stopping immigration, or is it a deeper reason?
Not for me. I've always been a campaigner for freedom. I was writing about it last time it came up with a digital ID. It's nothing for me to do with immigration.
Yeah. So, I mean, that goes on to my final question then. Is this as simple, can we end this as simple as not mass non-compliance, or does it go deeper than that?
But it's got to be mass non-compliance. But I mean, if someone wants to comply, they're free to do so. I'd advise them not to. I mean, governments around the world will always try and persuade you that you're giving up freedoms for security and convenience. Well, anyone who's willing to give up their freedoms for a bit of security and some short-term convenience, they're certainly not going to get security or freedom, and the only people going to have convenience are our governments. It's very convenient for them to control us. That's not acceptable.
What about small businesses, though? So small businesses who are being pressured by the government into forcibly, taking on people who've got a digital ID. What do they do?
Well, it's a basic infringement of everybody's human rights and it actually is going to favour big business. If you think the government aren't going to sell our data, it's extremely valuable.
Yeah.
I mean, those data centres and all the 5G towers, they're for collecting the data. I mean, this is a done deal. All the stuff about consultation they had earlier on, that was all a whitewash. And it's coming in all over the world.
Well, thank you so much, Andrew. Really appreciate it. I'll see you on the 7th of February.
You will.
No, it must be mass non-compliance for it to work.
Yeah.
There's no good some saying, oh yeah, we'll be okay with it and accepting it and others not. Because it will start off as voluntary. It will start off as voluntary, but it won't stay voluntary because they will say to you, you can't do this unless you get a digital ID.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
It starts all lovely. They're already trying to get the veterans to sign up for it. I don't think they're that stupid, to be honest.
I have seen that with the veterans being the testing ground for it, isn't it?
That's right. They're testing it on the veterans first. And I don't think what I've seen, they haven't had a very good response. But this is how it starts. They're saying they can get discounts on this. It was like the COVID jab. You got a free hamburger. Do you know what I mean?